Good morning, church. So today is Wednesday, April 9th. Palm this evening at 7 o'clock will be hosting our final midweek community service before coming into Holy Week with some other opportunities for our journey. The Reverend Serena Sellers from St. Mark's Evangelical Lutheran Church in Pennsburg will be our pastor for tonight. And the final theme in our I Am series is I Am the Resurrection and the Life. We'll also be doing some pieces from Ezekiel 37, the Valley of Dry Bones, and look forward to hosting worship. So today we come in to Psalm 50. We're going to be doing Psalm 50 in two parts. This is probably going to sound different from some of the other Psalms. I'm not going to give too much away until we get into James Mays, and I will try not to read absolutely everything he says, but there's a part of me that wants to do that for this go-round. Psalm 50 from the NRSV, a psalm of Asaph. The mighty one, God the Lord, speaks and summons the earth from the rising of the sun to its setting. Out of Zion, the perfection of beauty, God shines forth. Our God comes and does not keep silence. Before him is a devouring fire and a mighty tempest all around him. He calls the heavens above and to the earth that he may judge his people. Gather to me, my faithful ones, who made a covenant with me by sacrifice. The heavens declare his righteousness, for God himself is the judge. Hear, O my people, and I will speak. O Israel, I will testify against you. I am God, your God. Not for your sacrifices do I rebuke you. Your burnt offerings are continually before me. I will not accept a bull from your house or goats from your folds. For every wild animal of the forest is mine, the cattle on 1,000 hills. I know all the birds of the air, and all that moves in the field is mine. If I were hungry, I would not tell you, for the world and all that is in it is mine. Do I eat the flesh of bulls or drink the blood of goats? Offer to God a sacrifice of thanksgiving and pay your vows to the Most High. Call on me in the day of trouble. I will deliver you, and you shall glorify me. I'm not sure if you were a fan of shows like Perry Mason, or I think one was called Ironside that also had that actor, or Matlock as a more, well, okay, not real recent. I think they actually did. Yeah, they have. They have done a revisit to Matlock, which, we'll get into stuff. Part of what's playing out in our psalm today, which James Mays uplifts, is that we're seeing a courtroom drama play out with God as the judge and calling people in. A few comments from Mays. The psalm is not a hymn or prayer or song of thanksgiving. It is composed on a model of speech for trial proceedings. It begins with an introduction in which the Lord appears, convenes a court, and summons his covenant people as defendants. The body of the psalm is a speech made by the Lord to put the worship and the conduct of the covenant people under judgment. The speech ends with a summary statement on worship and conduct, a sort of instructive finding of the court, which we'll get into for part 2. The psalm lets us envision the convening of a trial whose proceedings can only be seen by the eye of faith. As personnel and witnesses for the trial, the Lord summons the heavens and the earth. As defendants, the Lord calls those who made a covenant with me by sacrifice. By participation in the worship of Israel, these people who have committed to the covenant have entered into the relation established at Sinai. So there's going to be two parts, and the first is addressed to the faithful. So if you were a good news before a bad news kind of person, Psalm 50 is going to fit right into your wheelhouse. And then tomorrow we'll get into God's judgment towards the wicked. Peterson, an Asaph psalm. The God of gods, its God, speaks out, shouts. Earth, welcomes the sun in the east, farewells the disappearing sun in the west. From the dazzle of Zion, God blazes into view. Our God makes his entrance. He's not shying his coming. Starbursts of fireworks precede him. He summons heaven and earth as a jury. He's taking his people to court. Round up my saints who swore on the Bible their loyalty to me. The whole cosmos attests to the fairness of this court, that here God is judge. Are you listening, dear people? I'm getting ready to speak, Israel. I'm about ready to bring you to trial. This is God, your God, speaking to you. I don't find fault with your acts of worship, the frequent burnt sacrifices you offer. But why should I want your blue ribbon bull or more and more goats from your herds? Every creature in the forest is mine. The wild animals on all the mountains. I know every mountain bird by name. The scampering field mice are my friends. If I get hungry, do you think I'd tell you? All creation and its bounty are mine. Do you think I feast on venison or drink draughts of goat's blood? Spread for me a banquet of praise. Serve high God a feast of kept promises and call for help when you're in trouble. I'll help you and you'll honor me. This has come up in previous Psalms and some other biblical work that we've been doing, but we're starting to see a shift. And Psalm 50 is indicative of a shift in kind of people's thinking, moving less away or moving more away from the reality of animal sacrifice to ultimately offering our vows, our prayers of thanksgiving, our faithfulness as our offering to God, which is good stuff, and it's interesting to run across. So we will catch you tomorrow. We'll finish up with God's message to the wicked, and then that summation of our worship and our offerings. And